You can sum up Kingdom Hearts as Final Fantasy plus Disney, but it's hard to condense all the game's mechanics, combat strategies, and other important details. Well, we tried, and this video is packed with tips and tricks to help you make the most out of your adventure. Whether you're a newcomer looking for extra help or a returning player in need of a refresher, these 10 pointers should do the trick. We start with the very beginning of the game. In the opening moments, you'll be asked to choose a sword, shield, or rod. These determine the level at which you'll unlock certain abilities. You'll get everything no matter what, but to unlock some of the most important ones early, most people recommend choosing the shield. Leaf Bracer lets you cast healing spells without interruption, and Second Chance keeps you standing with 1 HP after a fatal blow. With the shield, you'll earn them both much sooner. After that, you'll have to give up one of the other weapons. Losing the sword means starting with a lower attack, losing the shield means less defense and HP, and losing the rod means fewer ability points and less MP. Those aren't the only choices that affect how you level up. Not long after the weapons, you'll be asked a series of questions by Final Fantasy characters Tidus, Wakka, and Selphie. Answer mostly with the first choice, and you'll be told your journey starts at dawn or in the morning. Mostly the second choice, and it'll be noon or midday. Mostly the third choice, and it'll be the dead of night or dusk. These actually affect your level up rate. Dawn or morning means you'll level up faster until level 40, then it will slow down. Midday or noon means even leveling throughout the whole game. Dusk and dead of night means slower leveling until 40, then faster after that. You can change your answers, so use this information to game the system and set yourself up for the kind of experience you want to have. As you level up and unlock abilities, you'll have to make choices about which ones to equip. You do have limited ability points after all. That said, there are some crucial ones we definitely recommend you prioritize. The must-have abilities are Dodge Roll, Guard, Combo Plus and Air Combo Plus, Leaf Bracer, Second Chance, MP Haste, MP Rage, and Scan. Everything after that is up to you, but be sure to turn these on as soon as you acquire them. They'll make all the difference in battle. Speaking of battle, you can expect to do a decent amount of grinding in Kingdom Hearts, especially if you're having trouble with a certain boss or if you picked one of the slower leveling paths at the beginning of the game. The good news is that Olympus Coliseum is perfectly designed for grinding. You can replay the tournaments as much as you want, and there's more variety here than traditional grinding spots. It's a good place to experiment with new abilities and combat tactics too. Make sure you're experimenting outside of combat as well. Every world in Kingdom Hearts is loaded with little tricks and secrets, like the flowers in Wonderland, the science experiments in Deep Jungle, or the Trinity points found all over the game. Make sure you're checking every nook and cranny in each new area. You'll find lots of hidden chests and other surprises. And don't forget to return to previous worlds once you learn High Jump and Glide. You'll be able to reach even more hidden areas with those. When it comes to magic, most players are going to rely on the elemental trinity of Fire, Blizzard, and Thunder, with a good amount of cure whenever they need healing. But don't neglect the other 3 spells, Aero, Gravity, and Stop. These are just as important. Aero greatly boosts your defense with the power of wind. If you're having a tough time with a particular boss, then it might be exactly what you need to last longer in the fight. Gravity shaves off a percentage of an opponent's health, and believe it or not, several bosses are vulnerable to this too. Stop, as the name implies, holds an enemy in place for a moment. There's a great opportunity to give yourself a breather, and once again, Stop is actually effective on a handful of bosses.
Stop!
You ought to equip new Keyblades as they're unlocked, but don't forget to put on accessories too. These have very useful stat boosts like higher defense and elemental resistances. Again, this can make all the difference in certain encounters. Donald, Goofy, and your other party members can equip them too. It's a good habit to at least check what each new accessory does when you unlock or purchase it. At a minimum, it could further increase the boosts you're already using. You can also craft more accessories and items at the Synthesize shop in Traverse Town. Once you've cleared Agrabah, you can use Trinity Ladder inside the accessory shop to unlock it. Then, don't forget to come back often. You'll collect all sorts of materials during your travels, and the Synthesis shop is the only way to unlock Sora's best weapon, Ultima. You can only get the recipe by synthesizing all 30 other items in the shop first, so be sure to spend those materials. They don't have any value otherwise. Once you've decked out your party with all the best gear, don't forget to change their behavior in the menu. This is super important, and it can completely change how you go about your battles. It's a good idea to let everyone use their attacks and specials constantly, but for items, you're gonna want to pull back. Donald and Goofy tend to be wasteful otherwise. Since Donald is a mage, letting him use MP items frequently is fine. Just make sure he's stocked up. For HP items, make sure everyone uses them only in emergencies. The last thing you need is to be out of potions in the middle of a tough fight.
This should help. Here!
The final tip is actually a series of tips specifically for Proud Mode, the hardest difficulty in Kingdom Hearts Final Mix. Those must-have abilities from before are extra important here. You need to learn how to guard and dodge roll effectively to even survive most battles. Button mashing does no good here, since everything deals much higher damage against you. Similarly, you can set yourself up for success with the choices you make at the start of the game. If you're just trying to see credits, then starting at dawn or midday is fine. But if you want to beat the optional super bosses on Proud Mode, you'll want to go with dusk, as it'll make reaching those higher levels a bit easier. No matter what, you need to take the shield and give up the rod. Expect to grind even more in Proud Mode as well, so make those return trips to Olympus Coliseum to keep things feeling fresh. Don't forget to make a return trip to our wiki on IGN as well. We've got even more helpful tips and strategies for dealing with all the Disney villains that Kingdom Hearts throws at you.